Hello. I've had a request to do a demo on the marks POI, the marks waypoints, whatever, the marks manager, the marks manager, and the marks archive. It's just a way that we organize the waypoints and marks that we POI, points of interest, that we put on the chart. It's a simple factor. I mean, it's a basic part of the operation, but sometimes having a good flexible control of these basics really enhances our work with the program in general. So it doesn't pay to stop and look at this simple way that you manage marks and how you can do tricks with the marks and save them and stuff like that. Okay, so let's start out, and I'm going to start out, I'm on a Mac. This is true on a Mac or a PC, but with a Mac I had to click this to get my menu up here at the top. I'm going to create a pathway. Let's just call it, say, oh, wait a minute, pathway, AAA, it doesn't matter, append to POIs, and so I'm just going to make this this sort of route around Protection Island here. Then when I'm done with that, I can either say stop append them, or I can just hit the escape key, and that ends it. So here I have a bunch of marks. Now, those marks, if I want to look at them in the Marks Manager, so the Marks Manager you can get to up here on the menu, Marks Manager, or this is a Mac, it's Command M. On a PC, I'm sure that would be Control M. So I'm just going to use it all the time, so I know that key well, at Command M. So these are now the points I see, and it's got all these marks that still are on the screen somewhere, right? They could be in the East Coast, or they could be in France. But there are marks that are somewhere in view on the chart. In fact, one of the beauties of this, let me just do another trick here to, let's just routes, well, let me come back. I'll do this in a minute. I'll show this in a minute. But these are the marks that are there. And these are the ones I just made, like that. And they're now stored here, and each one is there. So I can go in here, and if I want to, I can, from this point, I could right-click it. I could highlight it, and then I could edit it like that. I could edit the mark. That's the same as going up here to this waypoint up here in the chart and right-clicking it and then editing it there. So I can edit it from this menu here. I hit edit, and there. Let's see, which one did I actually do? Okay, let me do number 4. Okay, there's number 4, and I'm editing it, and I can give it a name like. Doodah. I'll keep the sequencing just for now, it doesn't matter. If I want to, I can put like 2 range rings on it, a mile. This is a mile range rings. I could do that. And then I have to come down, say okay up here. So there I've put 2 range rings. So I've done that kind of editing on there. So that's things you can do. You could also do things like this. You see, that's an edit. Center on it. Now, if I just click, I'm going to do this. Let's say number 2, and I just say center on number 2. All it does is centers the chart over on this one, and like that. Now, Command M, I'm back here. So what I could do, though, another thing I can do is I can export these. I could say export these to here like that. I've highlighted those. I want to export them. I export them as a GPX. Now, the GPX file, that's a really powerful function. That GPX means I can then, let me just do this. What is that? Protection Island, P-R-O-T-E-C. Protection Island waypoint. It's going to make the right extension. I don't need to do anything there, and say okay. Oh, I must have done it before. Okay, so anyway, I did it. So now then, I have a file in my downloads called this. Now, if you want to see what that looks like, you could just open it with a text editor of some kind, and you'll see it is a basic waypoint GPX. It only has 2 things. It's got the latitude and longitude and the name, and that's those 5 waypoints there. So I can do things with that. One fundamental thing that we do with GPX files is we mail them to ourselves and open it up in our phone, and then load that GPX file into our navigation program on our phone, whatever that might be, and then we have a backup to our navigation plan or whatever, however you want to do it. The other thing you could do is, let's see here, Google Earth. I could just take Google Earth. I could just take this file that's on, here's Google Earth. I can just take this file and drag it and put it on Google Earth. Everybody probably has that or can load it. And then you see that's those waypoints now transferred there. There's lots of ways in navigation and just daily life that operation is useful. Okay, so that's that. Don't save. All right, that is, let's see, what else? I could export it. I can load it to Google Earth. Now, okay, so here's another thing. I can also, you see, if I go out here and take this, I want to delete all these waypoints now. So there's a couple ways to do that. My favorite way is I would take this blue button, this group selector, this regional selection here, this blue button here, click it, and then just draw this like this, you know, and then delete it. Delete the marks and delete all of them. Okay, so they're all gone. Simple as that. That works great. But let me do this. Let me take another pathway, edit it. Oh, my pathway's still there. Let me do this again and do, okay, so there's that. Escape. Now I go here and take this number 3 and edit it, and I lock it. Okay, so number 3 is locked. See, now I can delete this. I can right-click this one and delete it, and sure enough, it'll delete. This one won't delete. So, for example, if I do now I'm, oh, by the way, I'm turning this on by holding the Shift key down and dragging. Shift key and drag. That's another way to do it, the same as pushing this. Now I right-click and say delete all marks and say yes. It won't delete that guy because he is locked. Now, the main point is here, though, Command M, he's still here. Over here, and if you had like a whole series of these waypoints, again, loaded over here, you can highlight them, like from here, Shift key. Here, I highlight this one. Well, actually, let me just do this again. Let's just forget this guy for the moment, and I'm just going to make another pathway, create a pathway, escape, create a pathway, okay, append POIs, okay, so I'm going to do this. Can I put that guy right in my system? Yeah, I put him right in. I just added that guy to the system. Okay, here's there. So this guy's locked. He's locked. And let's just, for the heck of it, I'm going to go in here and lock this guy. Lock this guy. Okay. All right, now I go back, Command M or Control M, whatever you're doing, what kind of computer you got. Now here are these guys. Now I can go here to here in the Marks Manager. I highlight them all. Now I say remove. Yes. And it doesn't care. So they're locked. Okay, that's that. So you can remove locked waypoints there. That's that. Oh, here is another thing, another little trick I want to do. If you have a lot of marks, now excuse me. If you have a lot of marks here, let's say you have just a bunch of marks on your chart. What am I doing here? Escape. Okay. So let's just say I've got a new mark there. Okay. A new mark here. Okay. New mark here. Okay. I just got all these marks. They all called POIs. So I don't have any idea what that means. All right. So then if I do the Command M and I look here, I have these POIs, but I have no idea who's who or which one is which. But you could do a trick. Suppose you know you're in this area, you want to find this guy. So all you do then is just say move the boat to here. Okay, move the boat to there. So then you can go into the Command M and now go distance from the boat. This is distance from the boat. So you see this POI here is this one because he's the closest to the boat. See, he's 4.8 miles from the boat. If I went to the boat, right click to the boat, let's see, set up, says create on boat, remote reckoning style, ruler tool. Well, if I did something like the ruler tool from the boat, this will be 4.8. Okay, escape. All right, so that is that. I wanted to show that. And then let me just delete these marks. Right, I did that. Delete all marks, yes. Okay, now let's go. All right, let me come back in here, go back to my protection island. Or let's come up here as this area here, out of here. Let's make another pathway. Here's a pathway. Create a pathway. Doesn't matter what it is. Pen POI. So I've got this pathway coming here. Okay, escape. So now I have this pathway here. Now what I can do is Command M, and then or Control again if you're on the other ones, Control M. So these are those waypoints. I can spot them here. Normally you give these names when you make them and so forth, but here's 1 to 5, and I just made them like that. So you highlight those. Now what I want to do is I want to store those. I want to archive them. I think I demonstrated center. The center just moves you to the location of that waypoint. Edit. We did that. Okay, now we want to go to the archives. So now I go to the archives, and I have 5 waypoints stored, but I want to put them somewhere. Let's call this my new route. So I'm going to say a new archive, and I'm going to call it new route, like that. Okay, that's my new route. And then here I go down now. I've got this one highlighted, and you see it doesn't. You can tell it's got no waypoints in it. You see, you go to here, you click this one. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta be careful. I'm doing two things at once. Okay, there's a new route, and then I say paste 5 waypoints. So now this has got those. Wait a minute, I clicked the wrong one. This has got those five waypoints in it. And likewise, you can export these. This is, if I wanted to, I can go down. Well, I could go here and say export GPX, and then this would be, where's the name here? Oh, cancel. Wait, say cancel. Export GPX. Okay, there's a name. Let's see, new route. And what it's going to do here is just going to export. That's going to be another GPX file of these 5 waypoints like that. And that's going to be stored there. And so what you can do then is, let's see, I don't have that protection island here. So you could do that. I just did that. Let me delete that archive. Well, okay, let me just show you how the archive works. I forgot about what I'm doing here. Okay, let's do what the archive does. So let's get rid of these. You see, these are all gone. I'm going to delete all the marks. They're deleted. Now, I'm going to go back to Command M, and then I want to go to the archive. And now I'm going to go to the new route, and it just says load into qtVlm. So I hit that, and sure enough, that puts them all right back, loads the waypoints in there. It's not putting the pathway back in there. There's other ways you save a pathway. Here, all we're doing is the marks. And likewise, you can delete them out of there. So the idea of these archives, there's a lot of functions to that. Let me just show you one, and then I think we're done. Okay, that's okay, close. Okay, these we don't need. I'm just going to do that and delete all marks. Yes. Okay, so I want to do Command M and then go to the archives. And so here is now some examples of how you can do this. You could, for example, here's a Port Townsend. Our instructor, Dave Wilkinson, organizers of Port Townsend Racing up there, so he has these marks stored. So these are the marks of the race courses, or he takes part in that program. And then, so he's always has to figure out the race course based on the wind and based on these fixed marks. So these marks are there. Now Port Townsend Bay, that's this area right here. So he can store these here, and then once these are marked, you just go load into qtVlm, bang, and there's all those marks. You see right there. And then he can go and plan the race and, you know, things like that. And then when he's done, he can just go in here. Oh, I can't do it while it's open. But then you just delete them, and then they're all stored here. Or you can do things like here's the Bermuda race. Let me load into qtVlm. And then I could go to, let me see, F1 is the finish, FS1. F1. Okay, well, let me just go there and see what's going on. So I go there. So I say center. Where is it? New archive. Oh, I've loaded them. Okay. I'm in the archive. I've loaded them into the active program. So I close this. Now I go here and I'm looking. Now I'm in the Command M. Now these marks ought to be here. Here's where I can do the centering. I don't do the centering from the archive. I load them into the program and I center them here. So here, for example, Bermuda F1. Let's just see what that happens to be. Center, and I'm going there. Oh, okay. So here, now I know what this is. This is a Bermuda end of the Bermuda race, and so what it is the left end of the mark, the right end of the mark, and then this is the point I would use if I'm doing a routing to calculate the best route there. I would use that there, and likewise Command M. If I went to S, I'm guessing that's the start. Center on that. And that's somewhere up here in Newport. And again, sure enough, it's one end of the mark, the other end of the mark, and here's where you would do the racing. Anyway, that, or if racing or cruising, that's the value of the how you use the Mark Manager and the Marks Archives. And experiment. It's very valuable to make a route, make a pathway or a series of marks, just a series of waypoints or something, and practice loading it into your phone. You just email the GPX to your phone if you're using, and then if your program is well organized. Well, for example, qtVlm has mobile versions, and if you see when you get the mail, you just click that attachment and say open with, and one button it opens with qtVlm. But it'll do it with other things. It should open in if you use something like an NavX, I guess would be one, or I guess Navionics should, in principle, all the good ones should be able to just open up that route or series of waypoints just with a button click in your phone. Okay, I'll stop there.